Hey friends, how are you? I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you are thriving and or vibing. Let's get into it. Let's see what the cards, what your guides, what the universe has to say to you, what things are going on that they would like to bring to your attention, to bring to the forefront of your focus. Universe, please, insight and information. What's up? What's good? Okay, we have Six of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Empress coming up. Y'all, my beautiful Empress collective. Ugh, love to be here. There does seem to be this idea of you kind of drawing back your power, drawing back your energy, because I feel like you've been in a very gracious and what's the word I'm looking for? Generous. You've had a very gracious and generous spirit. And that's actually been to your detriment because you give and you give and you give and you give. Almost like that's the habit, that's the practice that you've always done. And it's kind of unfamiliar to be placing that energy in reserve. You know, it feels like you might be so in the practice of feeling exhausted or feeling drained or feeling spent because you are just so there for other people or like ready to give where you can. And there is a new dynamic evolving for you where you get to live at a slightly different pace and just hold your energy a little bit closer for those services that you give to other people to be not spent at all, that energy not spent, or you just doing those things for yourself. Here with the Four of Pentacles and the Empress. The big message is like, yes, the overcorrection needs to happen right now. I think that was a theme that came up a couple readings ago, but it can feel very unintuitive if your practice has been give, to be not in that state. But know that that is exactly what is needed for you to move into this next evolution, for you to move into the next stage, the next chapter. Let's have a look at this next chapter. Let's have a look at this energy. Oh my God, I love a you reading. I love it. I love it. The Emperor and the Queen of Wands coming up. Hanged Man, Ace of Cups. Empress and Emperor? Okay. Alright. Queen of Wands, Hanged Man, Ace of Cups. There's been some-ish that has been very much put on the back burner. Very much been... I think it needed time to sit in your subconscious. Am I saying that right? I don't care. I don't care if I'm saying it right or not. There's been some stuff that's just been sitting and marinating back there. And it's needed that time to do that. But it's time for ideas and emotions and love to be acted on, to be actioned. I want to get some more information on this Emperor energy. Universe, please, insight and information. What can you tell me about this Emperor? Ugh. Y'all can tell I love being in your energy and I don't like it when someone else's energy comes in. No, it's fine. It's not. This is a me thing, okay? This is a me thing and I should not be projecting. Maybe this is also your energy. Maybe you're like, okay, I'm ready to spend this time on me. And then when someone, maybe from the past, that is seeing you looking great, doing good, wants to like come towards you and be besties again. That's the energy that I'm picking up here. There is this like looking in from the outside, seeing you do good, wanting to take action towards you. Like, okay, motorbikes. Oh my God, motorbikes. Ugh. I had like a road rage incident with a motorbike the other week, and it like fully it was not good. It was not good. They just like sped past and smashed my window, like my driver's window, and it like fully activated every single trauma response I have. This little PTSD girly. Let's take that as a warning sign. The motorbikes coming up. Yeah, someone's wanting to come in, and the energy that I'm getting is like, oh, let's just go back to like what we had. I just want like once this like returning to normal energy. But it's audacious. It's audacious to say the least. How are you feeling about that? Oh. Okay, yeah. We have 7 of Cups, Queen of Swords. You're like, that's a nice fantasy, but you're not about that. Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords. You're like, no. There's either been some kind of like clear boundaries or clear communication or a need for like that you're like, we're not. All of this cups, this hopeful cup energy, it's exactly that. It's just like this hopeful fantasy of a thing that you, Queen of Swords, just not dealing with. So clearly someone energetically is like lurking and seeing you do good and wants to pop up. And they did in this reading, and that's all the time I'm going to give it, okay? So you've been warned, all right? And if you want to hear more about that energy, then go find another reader to get into it, because I don't like it. Nah. If they want to pop up, they can pop up. That's all you need to know. That's all we need to know. Let's have a look at this Queen of Wands energy, yeah? Let's have a look at what's going on with this Queen of Wands energy. Oh my God. Okay. So I feel like there might be a part of you that is very much like the more creative career aspect of you, right? I feel like there is a lot of hurt that you're having to sit with. Now, I don't feel particularly like it's a overwhelming, like all-encompassing kind of hurt. It feels more like just moments of like quiet and introspection. And I feel like what is being asked at this time is that, you know, I think there's part of you that's still really processing a lot of change. Processing not just one recent hurt, but like many. This could be like going back years, you know, everything's connected. So you might find yourself deconstructing one relationship and then another, and then you realize it's like, oh, it's not so much about the people that you're kind of reflecting on. It's more just you and the version of you that was hurt and all the through lines and what wisdom you can gain from that as you move forward. There is this isolation here, but it is a search for wisdom. It is a search for knowledge that's going on within you consciously and subconsciously. So when these moments come that are bringing a sense of quiet, that maybe you feel like, oh, I don't feel bright and bubbly right now, there is actually some extreme work happening in the background in terms of like emotional processing. And in those moments, what's being asked is like you actually bring that emotion to the front, and you can even talk yourself through this and validate that emotion. Mostly just give yourself love, like out loud words of love about how you feel, how that is a valid feeling, and how you are going to hold them in that feeling and accept them in that feeling without judgment. That is really, really important. This isn't like a weakness at all if you feel like there are unprocessed emotions. There are unprocessed emotions because the version of you that experienced these moments, that felt these hurts, they were not in a place to validate you. They might have been in survival mode. They themselves might have been very judgmental about how they got into that situation, what was going on in that situation. There might have been thoughts of like, oh, I should be stronger, or I should be over this, or I should be more reasonable, or I should be more logical. And it's just, you needed to be the version of you that you are now to be able to process and give validation to those things. So again, don't even be judgmental for how you handled that emotion, or how you maybe compartmentalized it or thought you processed it, but actually it was just kind of like suppressed a little bit and then it's still there. Like, eventually all of these emotions that are stuck, or that you kind of keep replaying or cyclically kind of come up, they are asking to be, processed and moved through. So be the one that notices the feeling and doesn't try and push on and doesn't try and distract, but really sits with yourself and like talk out loud to yourself. Let the different versions of you comfort and vent, validate, explain, and integrate these different things. And then once you do that, not only are you developing a deeper relationship with yourself that is safe, that is loving, but you're also starting to let those things go. This is really, really important, to letting it go. I have some really beautiful people around me, but there are particularly some masculine energies around me that for some reason don't feel, it could be a society thing, but don't feel like they can be like open, and they end up suppressing a lot of things. Like they feel like there's a lot of parts of themselves that they need to hide. And then, so they do that, thinking that it's gone and that's a good way to handle it. And then they'll do something like they'll get really, really drunk. And then it all comes out. It all comes out. And it's just that like clear example of like, that emotion didn't go anywhere. Just because you put it out of sight doesn't mean that it's gone. And that's kind of the thing that happens when you just compartmentalize or suppress something. It doesn't mean it goes away. It hasn't at all gone away. It does need to be like acknowledged and integrated. And then it wouldn't come up when you've reached your limit, or you drinking, or XYZ, whatever it is that takes you emotionally to a point where you're triggered, or you're inhibited. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. They won't come up if they're gone. And the only way that they will be gone is by processing them. So my point is, give love to these parts of yourself. Acknowledge when these feelings are coming up. And just sit with them. Sit with them really, really lovingly. And like without rush, with no timeline, with no expectation that in that moment when you have that conversation with yourself, that it's going to be the moment that it's processed. If there is anyone that you should feel safe with, that you should feel not judged by, and that you should feel taken care of and protected by, it's yourself. So be that. Be that accepting, loving, non-judgmental energy, because there is enough people out there who are going to be judgmental. Like, you don't have to be that to yourself. So no expectations, and at the pace that works best for yourself as well. I think there's this big need for you to assert that you're safe with yourself, and not in a way that you're like gonna hide who you are from other people to protect you, because that can be one way of protecting yourself, is just like hiding yourself away or hiding aspects of yourself away. But being so openly yourself with yourself and meeting that with just pure love and joy and patience, so much acceptance. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was a whole tangent. Yo. Okay. Let's see if there are any more themes that needed to come through right now. Is there anything else that this beautiful collective, any other advice, any other things that want to be... Okay. Okay. Okay, so I feel like there might be this really, really big want for you to move forward with ideas and kind of like things that you've always wanted to do. There's this definite drive and like almost like need. It's beyond a want. It's like a need to play catch up is what I'm getting. That like you really want to push forward with things and embody a really like a version of you, like you want to embody this evolution. Yeah. You really want to embody this next evolution. You're ready. Like you're so ready to be all of that and then some. You have so many thoughts, so many ideas, so many skills and talents and wisdom and genius. You just have all of this beautiful stuff that you're like ready to give out to the world. And I'm not saying don't. I'm saying that like there is still a little bit more healing to go through. So just in line with everything that we've talked about, really, really important that you are allowing the evolution process to kind of happen slowly, because there's still a lot of processing that your subconscious is doing. There's a lot of processing that your nervous system is still doing. And you can probably feel that. And you might get frustrated with that part of yourself that like is quote unquote slowing you down because you have all of this fire, but you are having these moments of like stillness and quiet and like heaviness, and it can sometimes feel like drowsiness, or maybe you feel drained, or maybe you feel like just in general your physical stamina isn't where it used to be. And it's actually nothing to do with like whether or not your body can do this. You're actually expending a lot of energy still processing things, even if it isn't in the like running internal monologue, even if it isn't at the forefront of your mind. It's really actively being worked on in your spirit, in your body, and in your mind. So be really, really patient with yourself. Still do things, still branch out, still work on ideas. But the second your body starts to feel like it needs to pause, give it that pause, because it's going through a lot. You are going through a lot right now. There is so much that needs to happen for you to go through an evolution. And it's like you're at that point where you're kind of like in this torus, you're in this vortex of the change like happening. And there's this alchemization that is like intensifying. Like it's always been happening, but it's really intensifying right now. And it takes a toll on you. So don't get frustrated with the fact that maybe you don't, like you're not firing on all cylinders right now. Be really, really, really patient with yourself. You are going to be able to cultivate and do all the things that you want to do and be all the things that you want to be. That process has already started. The wheels are turning. The train has left the station. There is no going back at this point. You are only going forward, and it is already happening. But let yourself, at this point, get to know you a little better. It's only going to serve you more if you're moving forward with patience and that awareness of what you need. That is going to be crucial to your pathway coming up, to the things that are ahead of you, because you are going to get to a point where things are really full on and your plate is got a mountain of things on it. And when that happens, you're going to need to be tapped into how you feel and what you need. So be thankful, sit in gratitude at this time as you really have like clear moments of need to rest. This is also you just calibrating to yourself and to your needs. And this is a really, really important practice. Yo. Vibes. Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Empress, Queen of Cups. We also had the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands come up. We've had every queen come up. Ugh. Yes. Amazing. And you would have such a good time if I came through. Let's have a look at the oracle cards. Hope you guys are doing so good. I know that my readings haven't been super frequent in the last week. I'm upset. I love listening to my readings. I did unarchive or like put back up a bunch of my old readings from like years ago. Ugh. That dance is incredible. Ugh, we love her. We love her. I don't know why I like unlisted them or I made them unlisted. To be fair, I did that across a whole bunch of platforms and look, they're there. If you want more Dan readings, then they're there. All of these versions of me from a couple years ago. And I'll try and do more here. I just have a backlog of like other content to work through, and I'm also processing, and I'm also going through that phase of having to just sit with myself and be like, hey, you're okay, and it's okay that things are heavy sometimes, but I got you. I'm in that process with you, babes. I'm so there. Let's have a look at what the oracles have to say. We have Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Okay, love that. You really do have people looking over you. You do have energies. You do have, I don't know what you call them, angels, spirits, ancestors. They're looking over you. They're taking care of you, boo. They're taking care of you. You're not alone. And there is a reason why you have those dreams. The mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary. Ugh. So the first thing that comes up for me is like, I've been having some funky dreams, but that's because my medication gives me really like intense dreams, which is hilarious considering it's for PTSD. And I already get nightmares from that. So, but nah, the dreams are, it's 50-50 at this point, which is good, which was not the ratio we had before about whether or not it's a good or bad dream. They're just all really intense. But whether this is about your actual sleep dreams or the dreams that you have for yourself, there is a reason for it. There is a reason why you have the goals that you have. There is a greater purpose to what you are meant to be doing with yourself, with your life, with your energy, the places that you're meant to be of service. So if there is this goal of yours to be of service to a community, you know what you need to do. And that's TCOB, take care of business. And that's taking care of you, because you can be no good to your community if you are not being good to yourself. Really, really important. Like the love you give yourself is the love you give to others. It's what you practice somewhere is what you practice everywhere. So really, really important that you are being really patient and gracious and open and honest with yourself, because that's how you end up treating other people. I know that there are a lot of people that have loved me terribly, and they also love themselves terribly. And I know that I love people so well because I love myself so well, and I treat myself so good, and I'm constantly affirming myself. So being a hype girl for other people is so easy. It's just effortless. It's just habit. So if that's your dream, that's your goal, you better sit with yourself. You better take care of yourself, every single version of yourself. help them move through things and not abandon parts of themselves. Anyways, I think I'm done. I think this reading's done. But thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will see you guys in the next reading.